Hey everybody, it's Pam. I'm coming back to you guys, and this time I just wanted to come to you and just talk about my decision as to how I decided to become natural and how it's been for me since I did my big chop. So first, let me just say that the first thing that I thought about, and please forgive me for time, I'm going to try to get this in as fast as I can. It's so much information. I know I'm going to leave some things out, but I'm going to try to keep it pushing. So the first thing is that my mother-in-law, she approached me and she said, that she told me my sister-in-law was planning on going natural, and how she had some girlfriends whose hair was really long, and she found out that they weren't getting perms anymore, but that they were getting their hair pressed. And I thought to myself, actually I said it out loud. I said, well, that's great, but we live in Nevada, in Las Vegas, and it's super duper hot out here. I will sweat that press out immediately, and I just was not going to do that. However, her saying that to me just kind of sparked something in me. I don't know what, but whatever it was, I decided to start researching. I'm a researcher. All of my friends and family that know me, they know that I research everything. So before I even think about doing something, I'm going to research it. That's just who I am. So I started researching, and I started finding out a lot about perms and how they can be damaging to your hair. I'm not going to speak for everyone else's hair, but I know for sure that my hair will only get like to my collarbone at the longest, and that only happened a few times. But after that, it would break every time, without fail. So once I started learning, the more I learned, the more things that it led me to. So first it led me to a lot of the forums for natural hair, which led me to YouTube, which really just opened up a huge door for me. Also led me to a book called Hair Story, which I showed in my PowerPoint presentation on my first video, which was entitled My Hair Journey. So if you guys want to, you can check that back out again, but I will put the book at the end of this film so that you can have a reference. But that book literally opened my mind, and I just totally just dove in head first. I read the book Hair Story and Untangling the Roots of Black Hair in America. And it basically just broke down how we even started wanting to have our hair straightened. And once I got into the history of that and learned that it came from back when slavery days were here, and the masters just used that as another way to make the black people feel bad about themselves and to justify how different we were, and to say this is why we don't treat you like a human. Look how ugly your skin is, look how ugly your hair is. And for me, for somebody to tell me that my hair is ugly, it just made me think. So I started thinking back to when I first got my perm and why. So I first got my perm back when I was in high school, and I can remember like begging my sister who raised me, please, can I get my hair perm? Can I get my hair perm, please? And I used to get my hair pressed, which was like crazy. I was always trying to keep it straight. But after a while, I can remember being at school and somebody making me feel really bad. This is when Martin was out and Pam, BDB was out, and my name is Pam. They were like, BDB, making fun. And so I just wanted to fit in, I didn't want to be different. And I didn't embrace my hair. It wasn't that I ever hated it until somebody told me it was ugly. So that, was a process within itself. So getting back to the book takes you from the beginning of the hair back before slavery days to slavery days, after slave days when the first perms came around, and how happy the black people were that they could fit in and have their hair emulated as the white people so they can integrate into the community better. And all the way to the 70s where the afros came back out. But when the afros came out, it was more so of a black and I'm proud kind of thing. So I'm not going to stay too much there, but the thing is that after the phase of the afro went out, that was it. People went back to straightening their hair again. The Jerry curl came out just to get a looser curl. We're still trying to emulate, you know, that good hair. Even after watching Good Hair from Chris Rock, I'm so surprised that I still went and got my hair permed and weaved up. I was just like, that's what I think is cute. So I have to literally retrain the way that I thought and what I thought was beautiful. So I did that by kind of like just praying and asking God, you know, help me to love what you gave me, because essentially what I'm telling you is that you messed up so bad. Like, I cannot believe you gave me this hair. It's unruly, it's unmanageable, and I just can't stand it. So in a sense, we've been taught self-hatred. So back in the day, the slave owners, they really did what they set out to do, because they no longer have to tell us that we were ugly or that our hair was ugly, because we told ourselves. That was it. And here we are in the year 2011 with a black president, and still we have self-hatred for our hair and don't even realize why. So I challenge you guys to just, if you're thinking about going natural, you do not have to. This is just my journey and how I feel and what happened with me. I went through a lot of emotions, even trying to think, you know, am I going to go natural? I'm going to go natural. How am I going to wear my hair? I started looking up all these tutorials. I definitely, when I came across the Big Chop BC, oh, I was like, there's no way I'm going to Big Chop. I'm going to transition as long as I can, and I'm not wearing that short, curly fro. Or a fro. I don't know what my hair is going to do. I definitely didn't think that it would curl up. You can see how much shrinkage I have here. So clearly there was a little bit of a delay here. I have 2 boys. Things can get kind of hectic. Some of you guys may notice it's now nighttime, and I started this during the day. But it's a good thing, because I got to grab this book, the book that I've been talking to you about, the hair story book. What I've decided to do is, at the end of each one of my videos, I'm gonna read something that inspired me to keep going and to definitely take this journey. So let me get into this really quickly. Here's a couple of things I just want to read you briefly. This is basically when the slaves first came over here. It says, in this new land dominated by pale skin and straight hair, African hair was deemed woolly, unattractive, and inferior by the Europeans. Many white people went so far as to insist that blacks did not have real hair, preferring to classify it in a derogatory manner as wool. Okay, and then at the bottom here it says, on the part of the slave owners, she adds, this brainwashing was not accidental but deliberate. When the slave women internalized the slave owners' racist rhetoric, which was almost inevitable, it wasn't long before they passed the pathology on to their sons, daughters, and future generations, which are us. Didn't even realize where it was coming from. And then last but not least for this time, this is quoted by Malcolm X. This is a quote from Malcolm X. We hated our African characteristics. We hated our hair. We hated the shape of our nose and the shape of our lips, the color of our skin. This is how whites imprisoned us. Not just bringing us over here and making us slaves, but the image that you created of our motherland and the image that you created of our people on that continent was a trap, was a prison, was a chain, was the worst form of slavery that has ever been invented. And what he means by that is we were basically enslaved mentally and passed it down, and we still have self-hatred for some of our characteristics. So that was definitely, I definitely was able to relate to that. I can't say the same for everybody, but it just hit the nail on the nose for me. So, and I am in no shape or form racist or mad at the white people. Most of those white people and their ancestors, those were hundreds of years ago. So that's why it's still funny to me that we're still bound by those type of traditions, which just have to be broken. You know, if you want to rock your hair straight, rock your hair straight. But if you're only rocking your hair straight because you don't think that your hair is beautiful, then take a look back and think to yourself and do some searching in your heart, and let your heart guide you. So to go ahead and end this, I have so much to say on this. I wish I could just sit here and keep talking, but I don't want people to see the time on here in like 15 minutes. I don't have time for that. So at any rate, what I will say is that when I finally made my transition, it was a great thing. It was very well accepted. It was more accepted than what I thought it would be. But I was already mentally at a point where if somebody didn't like it, it was okay. I really didn't care, because I had already been through a transition of loving myself and saying that this is what I'm going to do. So for those of you who want to go on this journey, just make sure that it's what you want to do. Don't do it just because somebody else is doing it or something you think you want to try, because if you don't think it looks hot, then it won't, you know? I mean, you won't be able to get past those judgmental people. You know, when I first came, it was either people loved it when I came back on the scene, or people were kind of like, hey, how are you doing? It was like there was a big elephant in the room, and I knew they just didn't want to address my hair, which was fine. It was okay. I'm good with it, and I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go from here. So it wasn't a choice for hairstyle. It was never that I saw someone and said, ooh, hey, her kinky hair is so cute. Like, I can't even remember ever thinking that, you know. And the only way I've seen it rocked in its natural state was really short. So to see these girls on YouTube have their hair long and all these great different styles, it's wonderful. So what I suggest for everybody to do is follow people like Kimmy May Tube. She breaks down the science of hair, which was great for me, because I needed to know how I was going to take care of my hair if I was going to go on this journey. And definitely Carrie at Simply Unique. I will put her link here below, hopefully, if I can figure out how to do it. If not, it'll show how to spell her name so you can find her on YouTube. She has some awesome style. She's definitely been an encourager, and okay, I can do this and look cute. So definitely do your research, ladies. And what you're going to find, though, in your research is that everything that you've been taught is wrong. Don't get your hair wet. Gotta get your hair wet. Our hair loves water. Loves water. I wash my hair every other day. But I'll get into that on my next video. I'll show you the products and let you know what regimens I'm doing. Again, thank you so much for listening. I hope I can be of help to someone. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them here in my comments, and I will get back with you. Thank you, and be blessed.
Let me tell you why I love